Reverend Tom Simmons transforms lives through preaching, service, and craftsmanship at St. Peter's Episcopal Church. The sawdust in Tom Simmons' workshop tells one story. The pulpit at St. Peter's Episcopal Church tells another. But for Reverend Tom Simmons, these seemingly different worlds share a common thread: the art of building something meaningful from raw materials. Since 2002, Reverend Tom Simmons has served as rector of St. Peter's Episcopal Church in Purcellville, Virginia, where his mission extends far beyond Sunday sermons. Through great liturgy, passionate preaching, and hands-on teaching, he works to lift up Jesus Christ above all counterfeit gods, while equipping his congregation to share their faith with others. The path that led Simmons to the priesthood wasn't conventional. Before dedicating his life to the church, he served as a machine gunner in the 116th Infantry Battalion and worked as a Capitol Hill staffer in both the House and Senate. This diverse background shaped his approach to ministry, bringing real-world perspective to spiritual leadership. From military service to ministry, an unexpected journey. Simmons' early career took him through the corridors of political power and military discipline. His experience as a machine gunner gave him an understanding of service under pressure, while his work on Capitol Hill exposed him to the complexities of leadership and public service. These experiences proved invaluable when he entered seminary. In 1993, he earned his Master of Divinity from Westminster Seminary, followed by a Master of Arts in Christian Education from Virginia Seminary in 1998. That same year, he was ordained as a priest. The transition from politics and military service to religious calling might seem dramatic, but Simmons found common ground in the desire to serve others and make a meaningful impact. His varied background allows him to connect with parishioners from all walks of life, whether they're veterans, government workers, or families seeking spiritual guidance. Building a community of faith in Purcellville. When Reverend Tom Simmons arrived at St. Peter's Episcopal Church in 2002, he brought a vision of church leadership that extended well beyond the sanctuary walls. Over more than 2 decades, he has woven himself into the fabric of Purcellville's community through diverse service roles. As chaplain for the Purcellville Volunteer Rescue Squad, Simmons provides spiritual support during some of the community's most challenging moments. His role on the board of Inova Loudoun Hospital further demonstrates his commitment to community health and welfare. His international perspective comes through his board service with Coaching Mission International, a nonprofit dedicated to providing coaching services for frontline missionaries. This work allows him to support religious workers around the globe, sharing the expertise he's developed in pastoral care and spiritual leadership. But perhaps most surprisingly, Simmons teaches shop class to 7th graders at Good Shepherd School in Loudoun County. This role perfectly bridges his passion for woodworking with his dedication to education, giving young students hands-on experience creating useful objects. Mastering the art of preaching through advanced study. By the mid-2010s, Simmons felt something was missing from his preaching. Despite years of experience and theological training, he found himself feeling stuck in his sermon preparation and delivery. The weekly challenge of creating fresh, impactful messages had become stressful rather than inspiring. This personal struggle led him to pursue advanced study in homiletics. In 2017, he completed his Doctor of Ministry in Preaching from Gordon Conwell Seminary, where he had the opportunity to study under Haddon Robinson, widely regarded as one of America's most influential preachers. The doctoral program transformed Simmons' approach to preaching. He discovered new methods for sermon preparation, developed more effective delivery techniques, and most importantly, rediscovered his passion for proclamation. The change was noticeable to his congregation, who began responding differently to his sermons. But Simmons didn't want to keep these insights to himself. Recognizing that many clergy face similar challenges with preaching, he developed the Sermon Coach, a specialized coaching service for fellow ministers. Coaching clergy to rediscover their preaching passion. The Sermon Coach represents Simmons' innovative approach to professional development for clergy. Rather than offering traditional critiques or advice, his coaching method focuses on asking powerful questions that help preachers discover their own solutions and improvements. Simmons' coaching philosophy centers on the principle that effective change comes from within. His year-long program works with clergy to reduce their sermon preparation stress, help them see more in Scripture, and enable them to speak more relevantly to their congregations. The results speak for themselves. Clients report significant improvements in their preaching effectiveness. Reduced stress levels during sermon preparation. Greater ability to find meaning in Scripture without heavy reliance on commentaries. Streamlined preparation processes that allow for more creativity. Clearer communication of personal values and beliefs. More relevant connections with their congregations. One client, Mark, emphasized the importance of excelling in preaching. It's the only time you get to speak to all these people every week. You probably want to work on that one. Another, Dave, appreciated the empowering nature of the coaching. It makes it fun for me to preach and be excited about the changes I'm making. Creation in wood. Where faith meets craftsmanship. When Simmons isn't preparing sermons or coaching clergy, you'll likely find him in his workshop, surrounded by the tools and machinery of his woodworking business, Creation in Wood. This isn't just a hobby for the rector, it's a passion that has evolved into a legitimate side business. His woodworking philosophy mirrors his approach to ministry. Create things that are both beautiful and useful. Whether he's building custom furniture, crafting toys, designing interiors, or installing kitchens, Simmons approaches each project with the same attention to detail he brings to his pastoral work. The scope of his woodworking ambitions continues to grow. Together with his wife Danielle, he has expanded into furniture refinishing and is currently outfitting a new workshop. This involves restoring 100-year-old machinery and building capacity for larger, more complex projects. For Simmons, woodworking provides a tangible counterpoint to the often intangible work of ministry. Where sermons touch hearts and minds, his furniture serves practical daily needs. Both require skill, patience, and attention to detail. Balancing multiple roles in a blended family. Managing a parish, running a coaching practice, operating a woodworking business, and teaching might seem like enough for any one person. But Reverend Tom Simmons also navigates the complexities of leading a large blended family. Together with his wife Danielle, he parents 9 children, his biological children George, Henry, Posey, Mary Virginia, and Sarah Jane, plus his stepchildren Tae, Serena, Sarah, and Adeline. This family structure gives him daily experience in the kind of patience, negotiation, and leadership skills that serve him well in all his professional roles. The Simmons household reflects the same values of service and craftsmanship that defined Tom's professional life. Family members often collaborate on woodworking projects, and the children witness firsthand their father's commitment to both faith and practical skill. When not working, Simmons enjoys strategy games and shooting, hobbies that provide mental stimulation and stress relief. But his greatest satisfaction comes from seeing people's lives change for the better, whether through his preaching, his coaching, or the furniture he builds. After more than 2 decades of service, Reverend Tom Simmons' St. Peter's tenure stands as a testament to the power of multifaceted leadership. By combining traditional pastoral care with innovative coaching methods and hands-on craftsmanship, he has created a unique model of ministry that serves his congregation, his community, and his fellow clergy. His story demonstrates that effective spiritual leadership often comes from unexpected places and expresses itself in diverse ways. Whether he's delivering a sermon, coaching a fellow minister, or putting the finishing touches on a handcrafted cabinet, Simmons approaches each task with the same fundamental goal: building something meaningful that will serve others long after the work is complete.